Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to your Chelsea news. Danny Wellbeck has officially been announced. Two of the academy players have secured loan moves away this summer. AC Milan are joining the race to sign Pedro Neto. Chelsea are inquiring over a 6'4" centre-back, and Pep Chavvaria has signed for Chelsea. Now, of course, I begin my own thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported, but more importantly, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 20k before the start of the season. Fabrizio Romano had reported late last night that Pep Chavvaria is Chelsea's top target for the left wing-back position. He then reported exclusive Chelsea improved their bid for Pep Chavvaria as negotiations with Rayo Vallecano are moving forward. New proposal for the Spanish left-back wanted by Xabi Alonso. The negotiation is ongoing for Pep Chavvaria. Chelsea are being careful until the end because the negotiation with Rayo has been more complicated than expected. The player is pushing to join Chelsea, who are optimistic after the new bid sent. And about an hour ago, Matt Moretto has reported breaking news. Pep Chavvaria is on the verge of signing for Chelsea. Only minor details remain between the clubs. The footballer is ready to travel to London. Breaking, the deal for Pep Chavvaria is 25 million euros inclusive of bonuses. This is the most expensive sale in the history of Rayo and will become official in the next few hours. So we might be a little bit ahead of the curve here, and I record at a certain time every day because to fit in with my daily life. Unfortunately, as much as I would love this to be my full-time job, it is not quite yet. So look, as we grow, maybe that will change. We can maybe do more videos a day or whatever, a different time. But as of recording, it looks like Chelsea have signed Pep Chavvaria for around 25 million euros, which is closer to that £22 million mark that was originally quoted as his release clause. Now, of course, we got a bit twisted with Pep Chavvaria because I think he's a very good player that's, experienced. They nickname the King of Jewels in Spain. I don't want to have the wool pulled over my eyes here. Obviously, we had the best Spanish left-back in the world, which is Marc Cucurella, and we've obviously sold him, and we're now going to get an older version, or a similar age version, of a player that no one's really heard of. He had a breakout season last year at Rayo Vallecano, very good season, and, Alonso, it really rates the player, played against him, well, not physically, but, in terms of managerial, when he was at Real Madrid. He is being after Pep Chavvaria, top priority target for left wing-back. That is all I need to know. That's all I need to know in terms of trust. Cool. In Xabi Alonso, we trust. You go get your player, man. If you get all your players, there are no excuses. Let's go win stuff. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to Pep Chavvaria, what I got twisted with was originally we went in with £15 million or something along those lines, and we were told as a club to go in for 12 million, and it got rejected. Then we were told his release clause was 22 million, and we were like, that's a bit different. It's a bit strange. So we went back in around 15, 16 million. They said no. And then they told us, actually, his release clause is £42 million. And I even come on here and said, just walk away, man. 42 million is wild for a 28-year-old player that no one's really heard of, who's been someone who I respect in terms of growing and grafting through all the top division, all the leagues, right, to get to the top division. 42 million is absurd. Like, it just is. You want some experienced, proven winner at that sort of price, right? However, that doesn't seem to be the case, and Fabrizio has said that the negotiations have been super complicated, and it really has. It's been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks, which it should be a fairly simple transaction. We want your player. How much do you want? There's the money. Done. Unless it's exorbitant amounts, and of course you have that back and forth and negotiate. But if Chelsea have actually pulled this off, and it does become official after I upload this, which is normally what happens, 25 million euros or 22 million pounds was the original quoted release clause. Now, we do know that Pep Chavvaria has been pushing for this move because he's been posting all over socials about how he's training hard, working hard, and making it very obvious, like, I'm fit and I'm ready and I want to come, I want to come, I want to come. And he's been saying to the club, by the looks of it, that he wants to go to Chelsea. Now, Rayo Vallecano are doing what any club should do, and I respect them fully for, get your bag for your players. It's an inflated market, bro. This is going to be the most expensive sale in their history. They want to really, really get the bag, and I don't blame them. So, look, it looks like, according to Matt Moretto, very reliable source, it's done and dusted. Few hours we'll get the here we goes and David Ornstein's bomber and whatnot, and it will be a deal that's finally finished. Danny Wellbeck, Jordan Henderson, Pep Chavvaria, Marco Palestra, Maxence Lacroix. Might have missed someone, I don't really know. That's like 5 major signings for Chelsea this summer, all for very specific reasons. The other thing that Fabrizio reported was this, which I find extremely important. Fabrizio Romano reported that João Hato stays at Chelsea. Now, this is extremely valuable information because he was tipped at the start of the window that he had a major role to play at Chelsea at left back. That then has obviously been disrupted and changed slightly because Chelsea have been pushing for Pep Chavvaria as their top priority for the wing-back position. So what do you do with João Hato? Well, I personally feel like we are going to be playing with a 3 at the back or a 5 at the back, however you want to kind of phrase it, with wing-backs essentially, where on the left you've got Pep Chavvaria, on the right you've got Marco Palestra, and your 3 in the middle is going to be João Hato, Levi Colwill, Maxis Lacroix. And then we have the variety, we have the tactical flexibility, the versatility within the players that you can have João Hato play at left wing back if needed, or play as a flat left back if needed. Pep Chavvaria can also do those things. The same on the right hand side with Marco Palestra. And then if you're playing a right back, you can have Reece James there, or Reece James could also play in midfield and play that partner to Moises Caicedo. There is a lot of players that can fit in a lot of different positions now, and this is the sort of signings that Alonso wanted to help his vision come to life. And I've said it, I think it was in yesterday's video, that 2 signings that Alonso needs, and then he has his 11 of how he wants to play. The left back and the centre midfielder. With Pep Chavvaria over the line, it looks like it's just the centre midfielder. And I still have a funny feeling it will be Adam Wharton at some point in this window. And if it's not, fine. I'll have egg on my face. We can all hope and dream, right? It might be Alex Scott because we're really pushing for him. Enzo Fernandez might stay. There's been some reports suggesting his agent is going to be in town in London Monday to restart these whole negotiation talks and see what's the best solution for all parties may be. Whether that is him being sold, whether it is him staying, regardless, we'll figure that out. We'll find that out as the weeks goes on. But this is huge for João Hato because I think he will play a lot of minutes for Chelsea. I just feel like it'll be split between left centre-back and left back or left wing-back. And I'm happy for him because João Hato is a phenomenal talent. And I think that he really showcased his ability and his talents under Rosinha, who gave him more of an option and more of a opportunities to kind of showcase what he can do. So I'm glad that Fabrizio's come out and said this because Hato is staying, he's playing a major part, and he's a fantastic player. So by the looks of it right now, Pep Chavvaria to Chelsea, £22 million, €25 million inclusive of bonuses. Waiting for the here we go, but basically done and dusted. I think it's a good move. It's an Alonso player, and that's what I'm basing it on. I'm not sitting here and saying I know everything about him because I don't. I watched probably 120 minutes of him play, and 90 of that, or however many of that, was the Conference League final with Crystal Palace. Well, was it Conference League or Europa League? One of them. The final that Palace played in, they played Rayo Vallecano, and I watched that whole game because it was on at the time. Not like I actively went out and saw the game, but it was on at the time. He looked really, really good, but at the same time, that's one game of football, really. So I think that we should trust in Xabi. If he's got this signing over the line, great. It's just that centre midfielder sort of situation we need to sort out now. But the defence looks like it's becoming a lot more solid, durable, flexible, versatile, and experienced, which is exactly what we've been calling out for. So things off, Chelsea have reported official. Chelsea is delighted to announce the signing of Danny Wellbeck from Premier League side Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea interviewed Danny Wellbeck and this is what he had to say. He says, "I've got that fire in my belly. I'm ready to give it everything for this club to make everyone at Chelsea and the supporters proud. When you hear the interest of Chelsea, it's something that fills you with such immense pride. Knowing the history of Chelsea, it's a club that wants to win trophies and is pushing to do that every single season. I'm really honoured to come to a club of this stature and what feels like a really exciting time. I know a few of the boys already and I've had fantastic conversations with the manager and already feel that connection." He was then asked what does he think of Chelsea when he's asked. He says, "Trophies and winning. That philosophy resonates with me because that's something I strive to do every single day. I want to win, to improve, to get better, and it's a club with some great history. Chelsea have won a lot of trophies and that's something I really want to strive towards as well." He then spoke about instilling principles and high standards and he says, "I grew up with winners all around me. There were great characters around me. I watched my teammates when I was younger to see how they prepared for training, how they rested, how they relaxed, what they ate and more. Everything comes into it. It's a small compound effect and it sets the example for me, so I've always had high standards. I really do believe that if you keep going and do the small things right, over time it becomes something massive and I'm not going to change in my way. I want to maintain those high standards." He was then asked if he was still hungry and he says, "I'm coming to the later stage of my career, but I'm as hungry as ever and as passionate as ever, ready to put everything into this next chapter. Obviously, with age comes experience, and I've got a valuable experience. I've been around the Premier League for a long, long time, and I've been at some big clubs. With everything that I've experienced in my time as a Premier League footballer, I've learned so much. It's given me such a good outlook about what I can do to help, not just myself, but others around me as well. I've seen a lot, so I've always got a lot of advice for some of the younger players who want to take it on board, and it's amazing to be in this position. I think that every new chapter brings different challenges, and obviously coming to Chelsea, we've got some incredible talent here. It's such a promising squad. There's so much talent in this football club, I can't wait to get involved. He finishes by saying, I'm buzzing to be here. It's an incredible opportunity. I'm really grateful, thankful and privileged to be at this big club. I'm really buzzing for this next chapter of my career now. Welcome to Chelsea, Danny Wellbeck. And this is exactly the type of player, the type of mindset that Chelsea have been screaming for such a long time. Now, Danny Wellbeck setting standards. Danny Wellbeck being around winners, having philosophies, wanting to always be doing better, winning things, being around winners, understanding how they prepared for things, him being at a different stage of his career where he can give that advice to people. This is perfect. This makes so much sense. An experienced goal scorer in the Premier League.
First things first, Xabi Alonso, is he the man to improve Chelsea?
Are you putting pressure on him already?
I'm asking you, do you think he is the
He's
manager?
a good manager, just because of what happened at Real Madrid. I think what's interesting is that he's come in and stamped his imprint on the type of player that he wants. He's obviously had a look round and realised that there's not enough experience, as you were mentioning earlier. There's not enough leaders.
Yeah, but there's experience and experience. There's like Chelsea pensioners, as they have been dubbed in Wellbeck and Henderson, who are almost beyond experience. They're super experienced.
Sorry, Wellbeck.
Not necessarily. Yeah, I think Welbeck's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But are they starters really? And in Chelsea going forward, they're not, are they? So is it to boost the Englishness of the team?
Possibly, but Danny Wellbeck comes in, as you say, brings experience. He brings the role model. The younger players will look up to him, and he is first change for João Pedro. And I think Liam Delap has got to look at his career and move away. And there's a good player in there, as you would say.
It is there. It's a long time since I can remember him being a good player.
Well, because maybe it's the Chelsea number 9 element. No, I think he needs to go. Look, about 18 months ago, when he was doing well with the under-21s, everyone said, oh, this is Harry Kane's long-term successor. He looks a long, long way off anywhere close to that. So anyway, he needs to get his career on track. And, Jordan Henderson, he had an impact before he had his 6 minutes yellow card and a broken arm at the World Cup. But you could actually see in training the coaches were shouting at him that they were basically saying, Jordan, now get them to take it up. He was driving the standards. I do have an element of sympathy for some of the coaches in the Chelsea academy who are developing good players,
which they sell on for a profit.
Which they sell on for a profit, but you would actually quite like one of our own to step into or step up. Follow Reece James, obviously John Terry before, and step into the first team. It's good for financial reasons in terms of sustainability, and I just think it gives a sort of different atmosphere.
Of course, anyway. This oldies thing has been something Man United did quite a lot in the past with Henrik Larsson, Zlatan, Ronaldo coming back again.
Cantona in a way, in terms of the class of '92, looking up to
coming.
Cantona. Oh, is he coming
back?
Sorry,
coming back late. No, I don't mean not coming back. I mean old players.
Yeah,
Larsson was, Zlatan was. So it kind of worked for them, but. By its nature, it's very short-termism, isn't it?
Well, it was brilliant when it worked for when they brought Van Persie in, who was 29 or so. Arsenal didn't want to lose him.
He's at 35 and 36.
Yeah, but also we do get it slightly obsessed with age. We've just come off the back of a World Cup where you see Messi get to the final at 39, Modric at 40 playing well. Obviously, Ronaldo probably a tournament too far.
Did Modric play well? I'm not entirely sure. Did Neymar play well? No.
No, well, Neymar shouldn't have been there. That was a strange.
Did Ronaldo play well?
No, I agree with it. But sorry, there were 40-year-old goalkeepers, but let's leave goalkeepers out of it.
Vecina, top man.
Yeah, but sorry, Messi, everyone's saying, I went and watched Messi in training and I watched him pad around. And then suddenly, you're getting games where he's giving absolutely everything.
Chelsea fined 10 million, suspended ban from registering new players for 2 transfer windows because their own owners confessed to it. And as UEFA themselves have said, they probably wouldn't have been found out had they not fessed up.
Yes, but I still think that there has to be an element of consistency. And I think if you're an Everton fan, if you're a fan of some other clubs who've been punished with points deduction, particularly when you read through the written reasons. What is with respect? £10 million is obviously a huge amount of money, but how much are Chelsea going to spend on agents' fees?
So what did you want to happen? What did you want to happen?
I would have thought that a points deduction.
having confessed, and it's so long ago.
I think you have to accept an element of
before they took over, right?
Yes.
So if they're going to get a points deduction, heaven knows what Man City are in for when they ever get to that point.
Well, first, we have to get to that point. Secondly, it has to be proven. Yeah. And I think we both know that there'll be 2 press releases and he'll go off to CAS. I think there'll be appeals and we'll still be having this discussion in a year's time.
Yeah.
And the lawyers will be happy.
Yeah. Anyway, Mudryk is back. I think we'd forgotten about him. He did turn up to the Conference League final. He turned up to watch them. And he's able to restart his career straight away. And, as they said, the level of substance in his bloodstream was not enough to have failed tests now, but it was then. So,
well, but then he's judged at the time. Mm-hmm. So you can't sort of predict in like 3 years' time that the rules.
So a little bit unlucky, though.
Well, just in terms of timing. I mean, he now has this opportunity to start again. It'd be interesting to see what Chelsea do with him, and they spent a lot of money of him in the first place. I mean, when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk, I interviewed him over a Zoom. I mean,
what was that like? How was his English?
English is fine.
Was it? But then when he was at
I think both parents are teachers. He is very, very, very bright, very religious. I would say a slightly complicated character. Look, 10 minutes on a Zoom with one person who I think was on Ukraine duty, and then, but yeah, very interesting, complex.
Not playing very well, particularly before he got banned. Seen as a bit of a waste of money.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he had a good sort of opening 10 minutes when he came on. Yeah. But I think he's got to be used in his best position, which I think is going to be an issue at Chelsea, because everyone says, oh, he's a flying left winger. He sees himself, or he certainly saw himself when he was playing, as more of a 10.
Oh, a 10.
And how many 10s have you got? You've got Morgan Rogers in there. You've got Cole Palmer in there.
But he's not an advanced 10, so you can play 2 up front, play either side of the striker, and then have a 10 behind him.
Yeah, I don't see how he starts. I don't see how. So I mean, what's Xabi Alonso going to play? If he plays his Bayer Leverkusen and he plays with wing backs and he plays with 2 10s behind João Pedro, I don't see how he gets in that. If you've got Palmer and Rogers in there, unless you play Palmer, unless you play Rogers left, which I don't see as a.
They won't be able to sell him though. Nobody's going to want to buy him at the moment because they don't know how he's playing or what his frame of mind is or anything.
Or how do you put a fee on him? I mean,
exactly. I agree with you.
What would he, even in this inflated market? What is? You know,
they've got to keep him for now and see where they can fit him in. And as you say, that is a problem for Xabi Alonso. I think. Do you expect Chelsea to do well this season?
Well, how many games have they got? I mean, I just think that you've got
same as everybody else.
Yeah, but you've got a good but in terms of
in the league.
in terms of you've got a good coach in there. I mean, I know you're trying to put pressure on Xabi Alonso already, but he is a good manager. You have to sort of exclude a lot of all the issues that were going on at Real Madrid. I think he's got he's got some good players. Still think he probably needs a goalkeeper, maybe another centre half, particularly if he's going to play 3 at the back. He needs Reece James to stay fit. Whether Reece James plays as a wing back or a right back, depending on what situation, or whether he plays in midfield as well. But I think Danny Welbeck, I completely understand the logic of Danny Welbeck. Yeah. And I do hope those two, if they are going to go into the coaching world, which you could imagine, that they do spend some time at the academy helping out the sort of the kids, because they are brilliant role models.
With all the kids going to what's the point of being here? Yeah. We're never going to play for the first
But at
team.
least you can learn from the people who are in the way.
Staying in London, on the blue side of London, guys, I told you in the video last night, Badiashile can leave, Trevoh Chalobah, Como. But there are also movements for the incomings. Obviously, they signed Morgan Rogers, and they've been working for some time on Jordan Henderson, Danny Welbeck, done. So Chelsea are very busy on several things. Lacroix also official and done. The next one could be Pep Chavvaria. The exclusive update of the afternoon is that Chelsea sent a new bid today to Rayo Vallecano for Pep Chavvaria. The negotiation is ongoing. Chelsea are careful till the very end because the negotiation has been more complicated than expected with Rayo Vallecano over the recent weeks for Pep Chavvaria. But the player is pushing to go to Chelsea. The player has an agreement with Chelsea, and Chelsea are quite optimistic after sending a new proposal and getting closer with Rayo to find a solution. So it's not closed yet, this one as well, but it's getting closer with a new proposal, and so Chelsea optimism to get also Pep Chavvaria. On Chelsea, guys, the other update of the day, I don't know how many times I came here on the channel to tell you, João Pedro is untouchable. João Pedro is going nowhere. João Pedro will not leave the club. There were many reports on Barcelona, and I always told you that apart from the appreciation from Barca, João Pedro was considered absolutely untouchable by Chelsea, and no chance to negotiate. For Chelsea, it was not about the money. It was not about 100 million euros, 200 million euros, nothing. It's the player has to stay. It's a crucial player for us. This is the message from Chelsea and from Xabi Alonso, who is also a big fan of the player. And now, new deal, done for João Pedro. It will be signed in the next days, but there is a verbal agreement. Now the lawyers on João Pedro's side and on Chelsea side are exchanging all the paperwork, but the new contract is almost ready for João. It's going to be a deal until June 2033, so one more season on his contract. Salary increase, a really important salary increase, I would say well deserved by João Pedro, and also a message from Chelsea. We can keep our best players. We want to keep our best players. Even without European football, Chelsea go in that direction. And João staying is for sure a fantastic news for them. Then guys, we have to mention also something on Paris Saint-Germain. Many of you are not maybe understanding what's going on, but let me go step by step on PSG. Gonçalo Ramos out, 75 million euros, plus 10 in adults. Magnus Akliush in. Kanjin Lee out. Now they want Mika Götze. And then Ibrahim Mbaye expected to go out. And then there is the situation of Barcola with the name of Ferran Torres. So let's go step by step. Let's explain. These are the names on the table. What's going on at Paris Saint-Germain? They make money by selling some players. Kanjin Lee is leaving, and his replacement is Magnus Akliush. Done deal. 50 million euros from Monaco. Medical next week. So Kanjin Lee out, Akliush in. Then there is Gonçalo Ramos going to AC Milan, and they are looking for a player who can play in that position. The player they like is Ferran Torres. He's not the only one. There are two more on the list, but for Ferran Torres, Paris Saint-Germain are in conversations with the agents of the player. For Barcelona, the position, I told you in a video overnight, let me clarify again, as Ferran today is a big topic again on the press. Barcelona don't want to sell Ferran Torres this summer. Barcelona told the player, we want to keep you, we believe in you, and we want you to stay. The only way for Ferran Torres to leave is if Ferran goes to Barcelona and tells them, I want to leave, I want to go, let me go to Paris. In that case, Barcelona will try to find a solution to make the player happy. But at the moment, Barcelona's position is, we don't want to sell the player. So that's the story. PSG are talking with Ferran Camp because they want to try. And then Mika Götze, the exclusive story last night from Ajax to Paris Saint-Germain, ongoing, underway, negotiations ongoing, because Ibrahim Mbaye is leaving. It's over with Paris Saint-Germain. And also the situation of Bradley Barcola wanted by Liverpool. So this is the scenario around Paris Saint-Germain. It's very busy. It's like 6 top players domino, I would say, for these positions. All big names, all top players. So we will have to follow the situation closely, but for sure there is a big domino ongoing with Paris in the middle. And then guys, Yando Mande. Yando Mande, because the update of the afternoon is that Yando Mande didn't play the friendly match today for Leipzig, not even on the bench. And then didn't travel with Leipzig to Austria for their pre-season camp to continue and play games. So Diomande is not playing football, Diomande is not traveling with the squad. Then they say from Leipzig, maximum respect for all the clubs, including Leipzig, they say that the player is ill. Probably he has some kind of Real Madrid illness, let me say, because, guys, the deal is verbally agreed since last Saturday. And if someone, till today, was not believing that the deal was agreed, and many of you said, but look, the player is in Leipzig. If someone was not believing this, I hope today, if you believe you have a player like Yando Mande, who is one of the best players in the world, and you are not playing him, I mean, if the player is not playing, it's because everything is verbally agreed on player and club side with Real Madrid. Just waiting for a green light from Leipzig to travel, complete the medical, and become a new Real Madrid player. I cannot control that final part, it's just technical formalities, but then the verbal agreement is done. Just waiting for Leipzig to find a replacement. This is the story. We wait until Leipzig send an email to Real Madrid and say, okay, you can get the player, he can travel. But he's not traveling with Leipzig because he's going to Real Madrid. On this, guys, and much more, as always, every single day together, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.